If the foreign government does this, then we'll pull these tariffs off. This is about fentanyl. This is about other behavior. Certainly a manufacturing worker, and saying we need to recreate the economy for those voters. And he sees this as his way to do that.
Ford just completely stopped shipping cars to China. Not slowed down, not reconsidered, stopped. All because of Trump's brilliant plan to make America great with a 25% tariff that's now triggered a global trade meltdown. Meanwhile, China's hitting back with a 125% tariff on American cars. That's right. A $40,000 Mustang would now cost over $100,000 in China. Great job, Donnie. Nothing says winning like making sure nobody can afford to buy our stuff anymore. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. So China didn't exactly take Trump's tariff tantrum lying down.
I think that tells you a lot, Kelly, about how the president sees these tariffs, right? I mean, some of these tariffs have been positioned as conditional.
25% tariff on all cars imported into the United States from the 2nd of April. The US president claimed the measures would spur growth in the US car industry.
Just one day after our stable genius announced his 25% tax on imports, Beijing fired back with a vengeance. We're talking a massive 125% tariff on American-made vehicles entering China. Let me say that again, 125%. Do the math on that $40,000 Mustang, and suddenly Chinese customers are looking at paying over $90,000 for that sweet American muscle. Gee, I wonder why sales might have dropped. Ford took one look at those numbers and basically said, yeah, we're done here. Not, let's wait and see, or maybe we can negotiate. They straight up halted all exports to China. When you've got a market where your product suddenly costs more than double overnight, continuing to ship cars there makes about as much sense as bringing a popsicle to a sauna.
If the foreign government does this, then we'll pull these tariffs off. This is about fentanyl. This is about other behavior.
Analysts estimate that 25% tariffs on car parts from Mexico and Canada could add between $4,000 and $10,000 in costs.
Ford executives probably needed new phones after slamming that panic button so hard. Meanwhile, the White House keeps insisting this economic faceplant is actually brilliant strategy. According to their official statements, we need to stop being so reliant on foreign manufacturing and start investing more in domestic capabilities. Sure, and I meant to break my leg last week because I really wanted a cool cast for summer. This whole economic nationalism thing sounds great until your actual economy starts crying, uncle. And boy, is it crying. The market responded to this trade war escalation exactly how you'd expect, by running away screaming.
In this case, with these auto tariffs, this is not about behavior. This is not conditional.
Been seen before I was elected, we were losing all of our plants that were being built in Mexico and Canada and other places. Now those plants largely have stopped and they're moving them to our country. And
auto stocks dropped faster than Trump's pants at a McDonald's all-you-can-eat buffet. Analysts went from optimistic forecasts to we're all doomed, practically overnight, with investors fleeing what they correctly identified as a 5-alarm dumpster fire. But here's the real kicker. The very workers these tariffs were supposedly protecting are now terrified of losing their jobs. Union reps at major plants are raising red flags about potential slowdowns and shift cuts. See, it turns out that when American cars can't be sold overseas, American car factories need fewer American workers to make them.
What the president told me yesterday in the Oval Office was this is going into place and it's going to be 100% permanent. And I think certainly a manufacturing worker and saying we need to recreate the economy for those voters. And he sees this as his way to do that.
Who could have possibly predicted that, except literally everyone with a basic understanding of trade? What we're seeing is a textbook case of economic self-sabotage. The entire automotive industry has shifted from normal business operations to full-blown crisis management in record time. Supply chains that took decades to build are now scrambled like Trump's morning eggs. Plants are facing the possibility of temporary shutdowns, with exports frozen and inventory piling up faster than excuses at a Trump deposition.
Yesterday in the stock impact of some of these moves, and he said, yeah, but I care about the jobs, right? That gives you a sense that this is a president who views this auto tariff as a way to reshape American manufacturing and maybe...
And here's another thing about Trump's tariff tornado. It's absolutely crushing brands you'd never expect. Remember Buick? Your grandpa's favorite car company was actually making a major comeback. Buick was having their best quarter in years, with sales skyrocketing nearly 40% in early 2025. The Encore GX, Envista, and Envision were flying off dealer lots faster than Trump's excuses at a tax audit. Young families and millennials were suddenly all about Buick. The brand was shedding its old person image faster than Trump sheds loyal staffers. Their marketing team was probably popping champagne and planning bonus vacations when the tariff hammer dropped. See, there's one tiny problem with Buick's American comeback story. Their most popular models aren't actually made in America. Surprise! The Encore GX and Envista? Those are assembled in South Korea. And the Envision? That's straight up Chinese made. So much for Buy American bumper stickers. These supposedly American cars just got slapped with tariffs approaching a whopping 50%. That's not a speed bump for sales. That's driving off a cliff with no parachute. The sticker prices are jumping higher than Trump's blood pressure when someone mentions his crowd sizes. Dealers who were celebrating record months are now watching customers walk away when they see the new prices. Sales teams that were counting commissions are now counting the days until their unemployment benefits kick in. One minute they're selling affordable family SUVs, the next they're trying to explain why that Envision costs as much as a small house in Ohio. But Buick isn't the only one getting crushed. Japanese automakers who ship millions of vehicles to the US each year are in panic mode. Even though companies like Toyota and Honda have factories on American soil, those factories still need Japanese engines and electronics. And guess what? Those parts are now tariffed up the wazoo. This mess is hitting electric vehicles the hardest. EVs need specific materials like lithium and cobalt, plus all those fancy battery cells. With American tariffs making those components more expensive, and China responding with export restrictions on the exact materials we need, our electric car future just got as dim as the light bulb in Trump's strategy room. So there you have it. Trump's tariff tantrum isn't just wrecking car companies, it's threatening the very jobs it was supposed to save. The April 2025 disaster is already causing suppliers to scale back operations, with workers across America facing potential layoffs. Parts are more expensive, cars cost more, and everyone's scrambling to adapt. The experts are divided on whether this mess will eventually create jobs or just leave us with a permanently damaged industry. Meanwhile, factories might close, departments could merge, and more jobs might get automated away forever. Maybe next time we could try something revolutionary, like understanding economics before breaking it. Until then, keep that old clunker running. Thanks for nothing, Donnie.